Good morning, and it's time for our holy hour with the saint. Good morning, P.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, you, and good morning to all the viewers and listeners.
Now, I've added something this morning which you might like just to repeat as a start to this program, because there are people that will watch it through and they haven't got their pen and paper with them, but they'll go and get it. It's the number they should call you if they want to speak to you live. Can you see it at the bottom of the
I
screen?
can, yes, it's going along the bottom.
That's right, yeah. Would you like to repeat the number?
Oh, yeah. So it says to call me, it says V on 07961
There we go. And look who's appearing in the background. It's Teddy. You can't get rid of him.
Is it? Hey, morning, Teddy.
He very kindly brought me up some soup this morning. He's very kind to me. I mean, I like on the program, if you can take a minute just to say he would make an excellent carer, because he is an excellent carer. He looks after me very well. Because of age and disability, I need somebody to occasionally bring me up a pint of beer or a shot of whiskey or whatever.
Yeah.
Well
Don't get
done.
too used to it, mate. Don't get too used to it.
There's always a downside, isn't there?
There is. There is.
I must say that you definitely, I can see you. You're very, very effulgent. Like the new setup with the lights there, I can tell that you're very clear. I can see your face very clearly.
Oh, good. So, well, we get there bit by bit. And actually, that's one of the first questions I have for you this morning is, at one time, I would have described myself as computer literate. Now I get totally and utterly confused. Is that age, or is the industry going so fast that you really have to be computer literate to catch up with it?
I don't know what the correct answer is, but I would say that I think when we're at a certain age and when our pace becomes uh, more of a steady, slightly slower pace than what how we once used to be. Like I remember when I was a teenager, I'll be out every day on the bicycle playing basketball, tennis, in the park. And now I'm much more of I walk more. So and 3 years in 3 years I'll be 50, and then I can join the University of Third Age, so I can go to there. So yeah, I think with as we get older, our body just naturally um, uh, calms down, slows down, and then but then the rest of the world is, as you said, it keeps going at whatever pace it's going at, if not faster. Yeah. Then so
Yeah.
we have to press
So
keep up.
it's six of one and half a dozen of the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, in many ways, viewers, this is the service that V provides. Because he's recognized, knowing people like me and Teddy, that we do slow down, and that we do need help, because sometimes even the simplest of things on a computer it becomes a major problem, and he is there to help. Correct?
Thank you. I'd like to add to that. So I had my oldest customer. I don't even like to call them customers, but anyway, the oldest person that I had to help uh, last week. She's 97, and her carers gave her a smartphone because they said that's what she should use to find things out. And so she asked me to come over to show her how to use it, just the basics. So I went there for the first time. I let myself in because she was kind of wheelchair bound almost. And she said, "Yeah, I just want to know how to like what do you do on it? I like, don't even know what to press or how I'm supposed to use it." I said, "Well, what do you want? What do you want to use it for?" She goes, "I don't know. My carers told me here's a phone for free. Uh, use it to do things, find out things." She goes, "I want to find out where I can take my family of six for my 97th birthday next week." So I showed her how to use Google to search, and in fact, I um, showed her how to use the AI feature. So she spoke at it instead of typing, which would have been way more slower than speaking. I showed her how to use the microphone, and then she spoke at the phone, asked the questions, gave her a number of places to go to with her family for afternoon tea to celebrate her 97th birthday. So, and that only took me half an hour, and she's very happy. The carer came in and said, "Wow, this is amazing." That she's using AI to speaking to the phone. 97 years old. Yeah, yeah.
Can I say, I actually did ask whichever AI I was using the other day, and I said, one of the things that I find is I know that you're a machine, but I actually talk to you as if you're a human being. And I said, I find that fairly therapeutic. Have you ever considered sort of adding that to some of the services that carers and even the medical profession can provide? And apparently there is a big research going on. And of course, for every plus, there is a minus. So before recommending something like that, they those people who are involved in this research want to make sure that it's not going to be too negative in providing the positive. But I mean, AI is just lovely because it says, "Oh, glad to see you back, Keith. Yes. Oh gosh." And it remembers things about me. It remembers that I'm 150 and that I'm a TV man and so on. I find that very helpful. Do you find that when you're talking to some older people that they are beginning to understand that technology can be sometimes helpful?
Absolutely, they are seeing it because they're witnessing it and they're hearing it. When I'm doing a live demonstration and I'm showing them my phone and I'm like showing them how to have a conversation with AI because they've never seen it really. Usually they haven't. They might have heard about it from someone that they know, but when they see it in live, like when I showed 97-year-old lady, I showed her how it's possible to be used. She then realized, oh great, I'm gonna ask it, but how would they know unless they've been shown? And there isn't enough of um, that way of explaining that the use of a particular language, which the older generation understand that kind of language. Not if I say AI, they don't even know what that means. There's no point me saying AI at
Yeah,
the beginning.
yeah,
I can
yeah.
say I'm going to show you. I can talk to my computer and it will speak back to me. This is a new service, so that they can understand that language, and then I can go on to explain what it is
Yeah, yeah,
if they're interested. So I'm not trying to push it on them. I'm just showing them. So just so you're aware, this is a new service that's available. It can help you find things out quickly, like a secretary. So that's the way I explained it to this
right.
97-year-old lady.
Yeah,
Is that there's a new service like a secretary, like your PA, to research and find out and summarize where you can go for afternoon tea with your family. And we had that conversation, and she really enjoyed it. She liked that. She started writing down on pen and paper the places that I was talking about, and so she can book it when her family comes around.
let me just ask you one more thing. Perhaps this isn't the appropriate question, because it's specific to me. I'm an author. I write books and articles and things. Actually, I just put one up at the day before yesterday on the forest fires, particularly those in British Columbia, where I've lived, and are threatening thousands and thousands of people. And I actually posted a book, and it was very helpful, and it sorted out the text and put it into what it said was acceptable printable form, and it provided illustrations. The illustrations are quite brilliant for each chapter. But when it comes to saving it, it seems I've saved the pictures, the illustrations, but not the text. Now, what did I do wrong?
Oh, yeah, you're right that this is unique to you, and I need to see what you're doing and which application it is in order for me to understand
Right.
what process you followed, which can be modified. And then what I would say is, if you keep these little notes, let's say instructions or guides to support you in the future when you're doing it, you can always refer back to it, so you can have your little cheat notes to perform the tasks that you'd like to do when you're making your books.
Right, right.
We'll
Uh,
organize a time to do that together.
that's splendid. But it's always a joy to see you, as you know. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen of the mature sort, he is a charming man, very helpful, a very good conversationalist. You have to remember why he's there, because you can talk about all sorts of things and get carried away. So there's the number at the bottom of the screen. And if you do need him, give him a call. Don't do it needlessly. Don't think, oh, I'd love to see V, and give him a call and get him over there. Do get him there on purpose, because he's a pretty busy man now. His business is beginning to boom. Do tell other people about it and say, if you are in trouble, this is the man, the saint, to will get you out of trouble. And he does, yeah. Okay, away to you now. This is your program. What do you want to talk about today?
Oh, great. Well, we've actually started talking about it. We've touched on it. And it's about that technology being forced on people by establishments or governments, even companies, organizations. So everything's being pushed online to use an app or to a website or just be online. And there's not enough support out there. I haven't seen enough support for the general public. And after the success of the brunch at Clevedown, I've now organized another brunch in another place in Eastbourne, another independent care home.
Terrific. Yeah.
So, I think this awareness is important, and it looks like that if there are more and more people needing this help, there's a need for more and more tech saints and tech angels for us to join forces. So my request is for the viewers and people listening is, if you come across someone who has a understanding of how to listen and how to speak the language that the older generation understand and can comprehend, and a person who's got patience, send them my way, because we need to build a team. We need to serve the community, and it might even end up having to be like a CIC or a community interest company or charity organization or something like that, where we do support people. And so that's my request for people to really share, and I'll be sharing this video on various platforms so I can let people know that let's join forces, let's help each other, and let's become aware that there are people that they need help, and we need to step up and really take responsibility and support one another so people are not left behind.
Excellent. And it's You know, so far, I'm sure there must be you must have a doppelganger somewhere, but so far, I have to say that looking around, you seem to me to be a unique service, because first of all, you don't charge for the call out, do you?
No, no. So there's no call out fee. So I've got a triangle which I've been playing with that terminology. Call it the triangle that I operate within. So between Hove, Lewis, and Eastbourne, that kind of triangle, that this kind of East Sussex kind of area, not the entirety of East Sussex, but um, yeah, but I'm starting to go slightly further afield now. So even I had a request from someone in Uckfield, so I went to
Ah,
Uckfield, help someone there. Um, so it looks like this is not just tied down to this triangle. That needs to change
yeah.
on my advertising, and it's yeah, further afield. And I think what will have to happen, yeah. So no call out fees at the moment, and we'll see if that can continue. Because of course, this is a way for people to feel comfortable and at ease to have me come over around. The other option is I also rent out Bishopstone train station. So there's like a lobby room there every Monday from 2 to 3, and that's like a donation-based drop-in session, so people can just come in.
Ooh,
Yeah, so people can come and see me at a venue, and it's easy to get to. If you're in Lewis, you can get the train, get to on the way to Seaford, and or if you're in Brighton or wherever, along the train line, it's just you come out the platform and it's within the station. So that's every Monday, 2 to 3. That seems to be quite popular. I had a gentleman that came in yesterday, and who lives locally, and his cousin passed away and had like £500,000 worth of, or was worth about 500,000, but for some reason they couldn't access anything. No, couldn't access this cousin who was contacted. Was said, oh, this is what all that's left. A couple of laptops. So he brought these laptops to me. I checked, looked at them. I said one of them is just too old. It's not. It had Windows XP. I said this is not going to be possible to be used with Windows 11. Then he had this other laptop, and I said, yeah, I can reinstall Windows 11 on this if you wanna, if you would like to use it. So I'm trying to find a way which makes me accessible. So these branches are a great way. Plus of the Bishopstone train station, which I rent out, I pay for hiring of that space for an hour. If that proves popular, I can increase it to another hour. And then the only other way that I am able to sustain, a living is to just charge for my time. At the beginning, it was £1 a minute, and then I changed it to £20 for 30 minutes, and that seems to be the sweet spot at the moment.
yeah.
So people can
You're a
ask.
very enterprising young man, if I may say so. You're doing all sorts of things that other people haven't thought about. I mean, that shows the sort of mind that you've got. So I may say I feel very comfortable now having you looking after I say our because V is part of both Mirador and the new Lewis station with Teddy. We've agreed that we will show this program on both avenues, even though I tend to appeal to people in New York. Who knows? You may get a call. Please go and catch a jet and come out to Fifth Avenue.
I'll be happy to. I'll be happy to. Yeah, it'd
uh,
be great. It would be great to come out there. Now, I've got something I want to share in terms of enterprise. So what I've done recently is I've managed to come across some memorabilia, which I think would be interesting for people to read. Now, I've got this magazine, not magazine, this pamphlet, which is actually the song book for the song, um, with the words and the music by John Lennon and Paul McCartney.
uh-huh.
And I've got a lot of these different kinds of magazines, and I thought to myself, this would be great to share with people. And I just wanted to find out if you felt people would be even interested in reading or looking at these magazines of that generation. I don't know if have you heard of the Rave magazine? Does that sound familiar?
I haven't, but I can see why it was called Rave.
Yeah.
Because, what, about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, Raves first started and became very popular.
Right. So this is what I've been collecting. A lot of this stuff is quite old. For example, the Rave magazine is 1965, and I've got this. This is 1968. So let's see if you can see it, and it's a picture of the Beatles when they were in India meeting one of their swamis that they went out there for the spiritual journey. So this
Well,
is
I think once again that you hit a chord because people are interested. I mean, strangely enough, some of my stories go back to Saxon times, and people are quite interested because what their mind says is, I'm standing on Lewis High Street. My goodness me, I didn't know that people were slaughtered on this high street, 1,000 years ago. People are very interested in their past. And actually, I was talking to my daughter yesterday, and she said she just watched a history program on television, and she said, at school I wasn't a bit interested in history. She said it was very boring and dry, and she said now I can't get enough of it. So I think that AI and computers and video and so on have started to bring a new consciousness into what was past, and particularly if it happened in our time. So yes, I think you're onto a winner there as well.
good because what I was thinking, if that's of use, is like people could read these magazines while I'm fixing. Like this is the Daily Mail talking about George Harrison. This was a tribute in 2001 to John Lennon and George Harrison. And the reason why I got a lot of this stuff is because I felt it ties in. I got it at the Rottingdean Fair, and a lot of people there were so interested in what I was doing. I was giving them my card so they can read the services I provide. In fact, the University of Third Age were there. They said, "Oh, you've got no point you coming here talking to us. You've got to be 50 plus to speak to us at school." And I said, "Oh no, good. I'll see you in 3 years." They go, "What? You're going to be 50 in 3 years?" I said, "Yeah." You can believe how young I am, looking wise.
What you should have said is, hey, on my team, I've got an octogenarian and a 70-year-old. Doesn't that qualify me? Actually, on Mirador Television, it's altering slightly now because age is beginning to creep up. But in last year, we had 4 people in their 80s, uh, uh, 2 people in their 70s, and several people in their 60s, putting together a very, very acceptable television service. So, age isn't that much of a barrier if you spread it across various outlets. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that there's a great way to connect us all together. Like that's one of the reasons why I've got these magazines because there's a relatedness people have with the Beatles and George Harrison, for example. I mean, for me, um, he was when he went to India, him and the Beatles, and then they met this Swami, and then then they met the Swami who moved from India to America, and I think it was um, I'm trying to remember the Tompkins Square, which is where the Swami was chanting this mantra, and then the hippies would gather, and then they found a way to connect with the Beatles and George Harrison, and then George Harrison donated a plot of land in this place called Bhaktivedanta Manor in Aldenham, near Watford, to the Swami and the Hare Krishna movement because George Harrison was a Hare Krishna devotee, and that's kind of a connection that I've got with George Harrison because we're both uh, uh, spiritual practitioners of the Bhakti Yoga faith. In fact, that's one of the pictures behind me. You can see that's the journey of life, birth,
Yeah.
and then old age, and then death, and then it's an infinity here. So you're just going from birth, old age, and death, and rebirth, and this is the cycle that George Harrison understood and tr- and was sung about, and I feel really compelled to support people who've got so much wisdom, um, and they can share it. And I listen to a lot of people who are retired business owners, and they share with me many things about what how it was and how simple it was. And I want to try to restore that simplicity to people's lives, and that's what my goal is, to simplify things so people can live in a peaceful way for the remainder of the days.
Yes. Well, as you know, is for almost all my journalistic life, I've been applying the KISS principle: keep it simple, stupid. And it has helped many journalists around the world. So, I may not share totally your spiritual beliefs. I am a churchgoer, let's put it this way, and I believe in simplicity. So we have a lot in common when it comes to that side of things. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think one thing that bonds people together, and why I'm so unique in the service I provide, and I think there are other people out there who can be similar. Is the main thing is there must be compassion, because I think that's why I'm able to provide the service, because I've seen, like, I was a carer for my father 24 hours a day for about 5 6 years roughly, and so I've seen someone go from fully healthy and then all of a sudden degrading their health significantly, um, and then dying. So now I was there throughout the whole time, um, and it was, and that's where I feel I've got that compassion. And I think once someone's got that passion or seen it and experienced it, that's how they have that compassion, by their experience.
Yeah.
But if people don't have that experience, if they're not put in the position of seeing old age or seeing uh, disease or illness and then seeing death, then they're not going to have their eyes opened about need to keep things simple.
Yeah. Well, I've seen it all except death, and I hope that I can put that off for a little while. Right, V. What I like about your program is that you take a specific and you say, I came across this week or last week or on Bishopstone Station or whatever, and I thought it would be of interest, wider application. What have you bumped into since we spoke last?
Well, we've kind of touched on those topics, but um, let me think about it. Hmm, you put me on the spot here. Let's have a think.
Yeah, I'll do those. I.
Well, oh yeah, people need help with and support. That's what I've noticed. And one customer just remembered. He messaged me. I'm going to read it out, and this is quite moving. So he messaged me when I woke up. I saw the message, but he sent it at 2 in the morning. He goes, "Dear V, greetings. I have just gone through a very difficult time." This is an old customer. This is like, I think he must be like 80 something or maybe 90. I'm not sure. And I helped him out with a printer issue. And he goes, "I lost my wife last Sunday morning, and I'm missing her terribly. I don't know how to cope at present. Please pray for her." So it's like, it's people don't just need tech support. They need someone who's compassionate,
Yeah.
and I think that's really key. That there's this compassion that is provided. Of course, like I said, not everyone can share or have compassion. They haven't experienced certain things in life, and so for me, that hit me that I'm not just a tech. I'm not just like this mentor or guide on how to use technology or fixing things. I'm way more than that, and I'm looking at expanding my services to provide a way to be supported and live for everyone as they get older. So that's what the new thing I'm looking at is actually expanding my services to being much more than just helping people with using technology and using the internet. That's what I'm looking to do.
Well, I mean, I think that's a very noble way of looking at business. If everybody looks at it that way, we have a happier world. Unfortunately, they don't. And I think you're absolutely right. It's not just the modern era. This has been true throughout the ages. Is when you're 30, you can find some of the peculiarities of somebody who's 80 irritating. That's not going to change. You can find them irritating. What you have to do is pretend that they're not, and go one-on-one as if you're two 30-year-olds talking. And that's what I think sometimes the younger generation miss is these are people. Yes, we may be irritating. I know I irritate the hell out of some people. I don't mean to. I've still got a brain. I still do a lot, and in a community like you. And I'm sorry if I'm irritating, but you have to understand that. And if I may say so, youngsters of 30, you can be bloody irritating too. Now,
Yeah.
is you hold these brunches, and they are proving to be very popular. And what's happening is your business is really moving ahead in leaps and bounds. And from what you told me this morning that I didn't know about Bishopswood Station, and you're holding another brunch in Eastbourne, it shows just how busy and how successful you're becoming. But what it does mean is that you, when those of us who use you, we need to phone you or text you or whatever to make sure we can fit into your busy day, because no longer can you drop everything and rush in.
Well, I'm still able to do that, and it might sound on the face that business is booming, or it's. I mean, I'm still not making enough money from the business as much as I used to when I was and I had a day job. Now I know that will change. I know there's a long patient game to wait for many months until there's regular revenue coming in from perhaps repeat people that are needing help, or changing my services instead of one to one, because exchanging time for money, it'll have to be one to many, so that way my time is not just with one person, it's with many people. I think it's going more towards that direction than it is with the I still can provide that and drop things or change my plans and help someone urgently if they need help. I can still do that currently, and yeah, it's just so looking at what works, what doesn't work, and just to stop doing what doesn't work and make sure I do more of what works. And that's my main strategy after listening to lots of retired business owners and successful solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, and just following their guidance and reading books, listening to audiobooks, and following the right way instead of doing things however I think I want to do them, because I don't know best. So it's best to listen to someone that knows how to tread the path of being successfully financially.
So, viewers, make a note of this number if you want V to come and look after you face to face. Now, next week, you got a booth at one of Teddy's spectaculars, which is a garden party at Clevedown. Now, it's basically for the residents, but if you happen to be walking past, or if you live in the Cleve Down area, you're very welcome. And you, V, will have a stall there, won't you?
Yeah, I'll be there for people to come and have a chat, bring the device, ask questions, become confident, and save money so they don't have to replace their device. They can look at what are the other cheaper options instead of replacing a device. And then there'll be other well-being stalls. I've put the word out. I think it's Thursday the 20th from just after 2 o'clock onwards. The Teddy's got music playing. I'll be providing my courteous um, uh, face and ears and listen to people's challenges and help them best I can. And there'll be other people there. There'll be a tarot reading. There'll be some light refreshments. There'll be um, uh, good atmosphere, marquee outside in the gardens, and yeah, I think the residents will be able to come out and enjoy whatever part they'd like to enjoy. And I'm hoping for some well-being stalls to be there, people who do head massages or hand massages or things like that, which or even offering yoga, how to do some good stretches for the body, and how to breathe, so you can have enough oxygen to the brain. That's really important.
Well, it's I going to take a little booth too, but basically, what I've been doing is researching the background, the history of Cleve Down, and it's a very interesting history. And it goes back to not the Battle of Hastings, but the next one, the fight between the barons and Henry III. And, or I won't have the book ready by at time, but I will have a little resume of what's in it. But I was fascinated what you dig up because the lady who developed the idea for Cleve Down by buying the old mansion that was 200 years old. She led during the war something called the Sweetheart Brigade, and she organized 100 ladies throughout Britain to be trained as radio operators. And if the Germans had invaded, they would have disappeared down foxholes, ready to join the resistance. And she got this all lined up, ready to go if we'd been invaded. Now, as it turned out, we weren't. So, but nonetheless, an intriguing lady. And it's when you start to scratch the surface of a place like this that you find all sorts of interesting things.
Well, that's great. You should definitely, if it's if it's a document, one pager, you should get on the microphone or ask Teddy to read out what you've found out. I'm sure people would love to hear that
Yeah,
interesting
it's
facts about
interesting.
the Cleve Down.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we've done 38 minutes, which is pretty good. So,
Great.
once again, remind people Bishopstone Station, and here is the telephone number you can see in front if you wish to get hold of V. And he is always ready and willing to come and see you one way or the other and help you with your problems because he understands, as indeed I do because I'm age, some of the frustrations that IT can throw up. But if you can overcome those frustrations, it can be very, very helpful.
Absolutely. And if people are finding it difficult to pick up a phone and make a phone call for whatever reason, could be time issues or busy life or whatever it is, or they're not very confident to do that, then please go on the website and fill out the form with some basic details, which will get sent, which will come through to me. Then I will call you to arrange a home visit. So this form is on my website. The website is technologysaints.co.uk. My phone number is there as well. There's a book me button, which immediately will just call me from your phone, or you could fill out the form, request a home visit, and then I will see you and relieve you from your technology digital anxieties.
Thank you, V, and I hope you'll stick your nose in the moment that you're in sleep down, at least for 5 minutes or so before you go about your business.
Awesome, will do. Thank you. And thank
Yeah.
you, viewers, for watching and listening. And maybe I'll see you at Bishopstone Station from 2 to 3. Else, maybe contact me and I'll organize a brunch for your place of residence.
Okie doke. Now there's an offer. And we'll see you this time next week.
Yes,
Toodle pip.
till pip.
Thank you.